since pretty much the end of January and has done a great job. Actually, the reigning setter of the week in the Big West Conference, and we're underway. Hrstanovic is blocked and roofed by Goss, and that guy right there, Will Darcy.
Well, there's the player matchup we were talking about. First play right out of the gates. Darcy and Hrstanovic going at it.
Oh, that was all Darcy that time. Hrstanovic on the left side in this rotation, and he finds high hands and gets a kill.
The real Daniil making the adjustment. He realized the last hit was a little bit low. He got trapped maybe and put it right in the block. This time going high off the hands. Really smart to make that adjustment.
Skylar Varga back to serve. His final regular season home match as that goes into the net. So Long Beach State comes in 20-4 on the year, 6-2 in conference. They have won their last 6 conference matches. There's David Niffen, 17-5 overall this season, 21-7 last year, and they were just on the outside looking in to the national tournament. Think they'll have a great shot at making it this season. Extended tournament this year, and it's going to be really exciting to see how that goes as Will Darcy
these plays.
Yeah, you may notice it is a different floor here inside the pyramid as Bloom goes high hands. Not the only volleyball taking place this week and weekend in the LBS Financial Credit Union pyramid, as that is a block and roof for Braun and Hrstanovic.
So many high hits on both sides of the net. A lot of soft blocking, which is an indication that these balls are elevated so high, hitting the tips of their fingers. And Hrstanovic has the last word on that one, putting it hard angle and getting a point for Beach.
There's Nick McCray in his first season. 14th year as a coach on the sidelines with Long Beach State. Scramble played there. Bloom was able to find high hands. How about Shane Aiken? He's been fantastic ever since coming to UC Irvine as a freshman last year. Micah Goss finds the deep in the quick middle.
And Costi intelligently setting that middle to Goss when the pin blockers for Long Beach were expecting to come outside with a broken play because that free ball went right to the setter. So really smart by Costi to put it in the middle for a quick set.
Micah Goss, fresh off a kill, averaging over 1.5 this season, misses on that serve. And Long Beach State pulls back to within 1. Just to finish up on the different floor this week and weekend, League One Volleyball has their league's championships in the building. Yesterday the semis, tomorrow night the championship. That'll be fun to keep track of as well. Scramble play here, and Connor Bloom finds the floor in transition.
Captain Connor, the Marvel hero, delivers again. The court conqueror, this time cross court. He's so high up there. Great hitting by Connor.
All tied at 4. Connor Bloom again off the triple block, and he finds it.
Not only was that a triple block, it's a big triple block. And Connor Bloom's a little bit undersized, was able to find those high hands, putting it deep in the corner.
Yeah, Trevor Clark, the middle blocker right now in the front row for UC Irvine, just rotated in, is 6'10", as that's a service ace for Hrstanovic.
The real deal, delivering a power serve down the line. Too much for UCI to pass. That's enough for a 6-4 lead.
And Long Beach State will go.
Will Darcy has been doing this double-handed push, which is always really effective, but he's putting a lot more heat on that than anyone else I've ever seen. He's pushing it down so hard, it's almost like a quasi spike with 2 hands, and Beach is having a little bit of problems trying to push that up to the setter. Watch it later in the match, you might be doing more of it.
little bit of shades or an iteration, a different iteration of what his former teammate Hilaire Heno would do a year ago, and of course throughout his great All-American career, as Long Beach State gets the side out and Connor Bloom goes back to serve. Yeah, Long Beach State looking to continue this win streak in conference, as there is the assimilated clap. Bloom also one of the seniors tonight on senior night. Varga. Good scramble by UC Irvine for the moment, but it ends in a Long Beach State point.
I was watching UCI's last match, and Aiken was all over the floor, and this man is amazing. And, you know, Kellen Larson, of course, is one of the best in the games, but these two, watch it, he's everywhere.
An All-American honorable mention last season was Shane Aiken, the one in white on the UC Irvine side, receiving the ball right now. Oh, what a block in a row. Varga and Christ for the Beach.
It's a monster block. They have 4 solid arms up high over the net. I don't know who got it, but it looks at Varga's facial expression. I'm going to say it was his block, but what a monster block on the outside. Look at how high they're piking over. Just beautiful, just textbook.
Long Beach State on a roll right now. What a pickup by Kellen Larson. Hershtinovich, that is down on the Long Beach State side. Give the block and roof to UC Irvine.
Amazing block and roof, but also Kellen Larson, we're talking about the liberos. He slid about 15 feet all the way over to go pick up that ball just off the court. Amazing speed.
Jump float serve. Bloom firing away from the back row, but a back row attacker violation called on Long Beach State.
That must have been just a micro inch for him hitting that line. I don't know if we're going to see it over again, but put a ball right in the chest of UCI, knocked the wind out of them. What a clobber.
Right side back row, and it's Hershtinovich flying in and getting a kill.
Hershtinovich with 1 man up. Let's give some credit to Jackson Christ for bringing up that middle to allow Hershtinovich to have that one-on-one in the outside. So good job, Jackson. Here he is back to serve.
Christ, the true freshman, who has been a very good true freshman for Long Beach State in the middle throughout this season. Speaking of true freshmen that have been outstanding this year, Andre Jokanovic, the 6'7" freshman from Cannes, France, has been their offensive leader.
And Heno last year was from France on Irvine. I wonder if there was some kind of connection. Hey, you got to go play with UCI. You're going to have a great time in California.
Recycle for Long Beach State. Varga fires away. Jokanovic off the block. Good pickup by Hershtinovich. Two-hand push. Got to touch off the block, and it finds the floor for Skylar Varga.
And once again, the second joust. I say that over and over. The early bird gets the worm, but the second joust wins it every time. And that's just what Skylar did. He paused, waited, and just pushed it right back on their side of the court, on UCI side.
For Long Beach State, it is Island Doty. He's done a great job coming in and getting some starts at the setter position for them as he puts that serve into the net.
And sporting a new haircut.
Yes.
Give him aerodynamic.
Got to stay fresh for the end of the season. And senior night, he's also one of the seniors tonight. As Skylar Varga off the block right side in that rotation.
I might say that this might be the most seniors Long Beach has had together on the court anytime this season. Right now, there's more seniors out here than ever before. Is it because it's senior night?
It definitely could be.
Only Coach McKay can answer that one.
Oh, that goes into the net from Varga. He has been one of the season leaders in service aces in the country this year.
Though the last few games he's been a little bit dry on landing these aces, and see if we can turn that around.
Free ball opportunity for the Anteaters. From the back row, it's Jokanovic, but it's dug back over the net. Off the block and out, there's Andreas Brink.
Now you're talking about the other Andreas, right?
Yes, not Andreas Koch that is with me on the desk right now.
What an explosive hit, turning his body, chest facing angle, and just cranks it down the line.
That one, a service ace for Jokanovic.
What an amazing serve. He cranked that, he put a spin and a cross-court hard hit, mixed in with a little bit of spin, and landed it right in area one. Skylar never gets aces. It gets ace, and that one just put it right in front of his lap.
That one into the net, and Long Beach State back up by 1. Ben Braun, another senior, will go back to serve for the Beach. Off the block, reset for UC Irvine. However, that attack goes out wide.
You see, Long Beach's block is so sound and fundamental. It's forcing UCI to swing high and try to get off these hands, and that one just sailed too long. It's a sign of an excellent blocking system.
Micah Goss misses. And UC Irvine's offense going awry a little bit.
And again, to that same thing I said a second ago, the block is so sound and so textbook, it's forcing UCI to do extreme turns and cuts, and that one just sailed wide as well.
That one goes into the net, as will Darcy, unable to connect cleanly, and another timeout is called. Teams, one of the top 3 in the Big West Conference. A little bit of discussion there with our top referee and Matthew Laveau with the floor captains, but we play on. Hrstanovic off the block. They have to recycle here. What a back set by Skylar Varga. Keeps it in play. Hrstanovic finds a one-on-one matchup and delivers.
Did you see all of the ball movement going on both pins, trying each side out, and the fact that Skylar Varga stepping in and setting beautiful balls to both the outsides.
That serve into the net.
Big, brawny Ben, not really known for making missed serve. He usually is pretty consistent keeping it in. He knows that he's shaking his head on the bench over there. He's always good for an in serve.
Snapped a 5-0 scoring run from the Beach. So still a good run from Braun as Connor Bloom terminates on the outside.
Captain Connor, the court conqueror, pulls through again, saving Long Beach State's galactic court against the enemies of space. Trying to get really Marvel comic here. He just looks like a Marvel hero, doesn't he? I mean, look at him.
New entry into the game, getting a touch on that block. Wojciech Gajek in the front row right now. No true setter for Long Beach State, but that's why they make that substitution. Gajek getting the block, dominating defensively.
Did you see how high his hands were? Remember, he's coming right off the, watch, here it is in slow motion. Okay, the antenna is off the screen. He's reaching the height of the antenna, even over the frame that you're seeing on your screen right now at home. That's some amazing high volleyball right there. High elevation.
That serve just misses from Hrstanovic. And now they'll bring in the other part of the 6-2 sub, as Jake Pizzanti comes in for Long Beach State. They've been running this kind of different offensive system lately, being able to utilize both their starting setters that have been able to get starts throughout the season and their opposites. as that pushed back down by Jackson Christ.
And you know what, Matt? Change is inevitable, except from vending machines.
As Long Beach State has had to go through those lineup changes throughout this season. There's the clap. We've got a little bit of dueling claps today. Micah Goss has a similar type of way behind the service line as that goes into the net from Trevor Clark.
I'm pretty sure I saw UCI even joining the clap when Connor's back to serve. I don't think Coach Niffen is liking that. Or maybe they're just cheering on their own players. I don't know.
One clap from Connor Bloom. You'll notice 3 claps from Micah Goss as that goes into the net. And here comes a new entry for Long Beach State to replace Bloom in the back row to help out passing-wise is Dane Hillis. Late set substitutions for Coach Nick McCray as Varga able to find the back corner easily.
Now, if Skylar ever, after he finishes internationally for the Canadian national team, if he ever wants to play on the beach in doubles, he's going to be unstoppable. He's hitting in the far corners of the court. His hands are absolute gold. He hits, he passes, nails. He's the all-around man. And he's going to be making a lot of money in the tour in about 5 or 6 years from now when he's done indoor.
4 kills on 8 swings right now for Varga. Perfect 500. He was errorless last match as well. 8 kills on 15 errorless swings when Long Beach State beat UC Santa Barbara in Santa Barbara as Andrei Jokanovic delivering again for the Anteaters.
Jokanovic is just so steady. He's just a steady, consistent. He sees the block so well. And watch he sees he's got a late middle blocker coming. So what does he do? He goes right after his hands.
Steady as a true freshman, by the way, as that roll shot gets picked up. Chance again, this time it's Gayak getting his first swing, and that's down.
And you know who flippered that ball from UCI in the back row? 6'10", Trevor Clark. That's impressive. 6'10". He's sprawling out and flipping that ball up.
David Niffen always talks about having his players being able to play all around, no matter what position they play on the court. By the way, Aiden Schulten is now in as the setter for UC Irvine as they make their late set switch, and doesn't work out as well as there's a black and roof for Long Beach State.
What an amazing block. All 3 up. Jokanovic had nowhere really to go. Earlier he was trying to go high up the hands, and I was just commenting how he's smart in seeing the block, but there's only so much you can do with three blockers up.
Micah Tumis also into the match for the Anteaters. Jokanovic off the block, and it's out of bounds. He'll take the kill inside out.
And, you know, Wojciech Gayak, he's not only putting heat, he's putting these knuckleballs that are just bullets straight into these back row passers. I don't know how these guys are passing these balls.
Here is Tumis. Redshirt freshman, southpaw serve. Varga, 1-on-1.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does, you know, and the rosters are getting smaller these days, unfortunately, but yeah, he's using every guy, and you know, you look over there right now and you see all the smiles on the faces because everybody's contributing.
I remember you mentioning how much harder it can be in men's volleyball substitution-wise, specifically, and you mentioned how they're bringing in 2 setters at times. How hard was it for you as a coach to manage those substitutions in men's?
Yeah, you know, it's a difficult task, and obviously what you're talking about is the men's play the international rules of 6 subs, and the women play a very more liberated sub rule. And you know, once you go in and out, that's 2 subs, and you only get 3 real moves. So I always we use the double sub now and again, but for the most part, I always like to bring my outside hitters in from the bench and use them as serving subs for my middles. And really, all it comes down to is point scoring. You're either point scoring because you're getting your best offense out there, or you're point scoring because you get better arms on the end line to hit their jump serves.
And Andrei Jokanovic getting the kill there inside out for UC Irvine. As we have Alan Knight-Pierre with us on the desk here on ESPN Plus. Hrstinovic pushing that one down. Hrstinovic, one of the upperclassmen, not one of the seniors, but it is senior night tonight. If you can speak on, I guess, past senior nights and how special this night can be for Long Beach State men's volleyball.
Yeah, well, I think, when you recruit these guys, you tell them how quickly it's going to go by, and they don't realize until senior night hits how fast it actually happens. So, yeah, it's a special time. It's a weird time because the success of the program, there's a lot more to play for. So you try not to make too big of a deal of it, but it is a special night. You play your last match in the Pyramid, you have your last practices, whatever it might be. You're playing with the boys. It's a special night for everyone.
And Alan, David Niffen pretty well, and I had a chance to talk with him before the match, and I asked him, what do you look for? What's your secret of all these success? He says, you know what? I look for players that are flexible, that are coachable, that are natural athletes, and they morph into his system and turns them into the quality players that they are.
Yeah, I think Dave's done a great job. His teams don't always play the same. They're, from year to year. He does a good job of figuring out the best way to get his talent on the court. And I think the sign of a good coach is your team plays better as the year goes on. And Irvine always finds a way to play better as the season goes on. So tip my cap to Dave. He's a great guy. And he's a really good coach.
That one off the block and a pickup by Ben Braun. Ben Braun with the serve, so he has to play the back row in this rotation. Scramble plays on either side. It has to be the secondary setter in Aiken. Darcy finds it, goes right at Ben Braun. That is not an easy thing to do. I have a couple of middles here that would have to play some back row before.
Well, on that play, both sides of the net, I thought there were a lot of trap sets and a lot of jousting, a lot of free balls going over the net there, but it ends with Darcy putting the ball away, and they got to clean up a little bit more, keep it off the net, and let their big hitters swing away without getting trapped.
Jukanovic, true freshman, good serve. Connor Bloom. If you can talk about how big Connor Bloom has been throughout his career at Long Beach State, and he's getting the starts right now.
Yeah, Connor's done a great job, and he's played on the left, he's played on the right, he's been a big-time serving sub, he's been an amazing, he's a captain, he's a floor leader, he's an all-in guy, will do anything you want. So things have a weird way of working out sometimes for guys that choose to do the right thing their whole career, and Connor's getting his name called for a bigger role right now, and he's ready for it, and it couldn't happen to a better kid.
Captain Connor is a team leader. That's why he's a captain. How is he outside of the court in the weight room? Is he a type of guy? I mean, clearly he's working really hard physically and trying to get at the best of his game there. Are you noticing anything as sort of a leader and that other players can aspire to?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to lead, and I think the mistake leaders make, quote-unquote leaders, right, the captain, is they try to be who the captain was ahead of them, and that's not what you want to do. You want to be really authentic, and Connor's not a big talker about it. He's a big just do what I do. He gets in the weight room early. He gets extra reps. He's a great teammate, watches a ton of video. He'll play any role. He's a big-time guy of, like, if you want to be successful in this program, just follow my lead, not necessarily what I say.
And he just proved it once again, hitting high off the block, and a big block, I might add.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a few inches shorter, but look at how high he's swinging, going right off the top of those hands.
Yeah, no, Connor does a great job of playing on the left, like a true left, being physical, high and hard. Quite a bit of shots over his career. He's gotten way better with that, but he's a big physical left.
Good layout by Kellen Larson. That one down from Micah Goss. But Larson just proved one of the things that Andreas and I have been talking about, how the libero play has been strong tonight.
And it just speaks to his reaction and his eye coordination. Oh, yeah, that one just got away from him. But he's just so lightning quick back there.
Yeah, both of these guys do a good job of reading the game. A lot of defense obviously is picking up the cues of what's happening on the court, picking up the reads with the setters, the tempo, how far off the net it is, how fast it is, how tight it is. these guys are getting good reads and getting in good spots and digging balls.
And he's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more ahead of him.
That's right.
Jackson Christ. Good serve, better pass. And that's off the block, and UC Irvine gets another side out. Still going back and forth here in the second set. So we're on ESPN Plus, Matt Brown and J.S. Koch and Alan Napier, our special guest in the middle. And Coach, coming down to the end of the season, I've already mentioned that Coach David Niffen has got his players playing well at the end of the season. That's what every coach wants to do. As this one is picked up out of bounds. Another service ace for the Anteaters. But how much is it easier said than done for your team to be performing the best at the end of the season?
Yeah, well, you know, it's something that's not random. You're planning all year long for the end in mind, right? So how much you're jumping the guys, how you scheduled, how you train. You have a checklist that you're working on, making sure you're getting everything in, whether it's in system, out of system, blocking, you know, and you feel like when you get to the end of the year, you finally got to the point that you've checked off all the boxes, and that's what a great coach does.
New entry back in for UC Irvine. They bring back in their other setter in Aiden Schulten, and he will take some front row looks, and Micah Goss connects well with him.
And to come in cold and set that perfect of a ball, Goss is flying in the air. Look at, he's pumped up after that hit, and rightfully so. But amazing to come off cold and set a beautiful ball in the middle like that, a quick set.
Goss goes back to. There's the triple clap from Goss. That's his ritual. Nice sprawling pass by Larson, and it ends up setting it up for Hrstanovic on the outside.
And Alan, you notice Hrstanovic saw the big block. He was way up there in the heavens, in the clouds, and he just decides to take a little bit of a shotty right into the middle area where no one was sitting.
Yeah, it's a great heads-up play. He knows the middle blocker is serving, and he knows if he wants a bailout, there's a good chance to tip towards the middle.
Jokanovic misses long there. Do want to note the server there is Skylar Varga. You've known Skylar throughout his entire career, and he is one of the seniors here on senior night. Can you talk about his impact on this program?
Yeah, this guy's an all-world kid. You know, he's a academic All-American, academic Big West Player of the Year. He's an All-American for us and playing for Canada. He's a leader. He's a captain. He's a special, special kid.
So he goes back there, one of the great servers in the country as well. Hat off the block and out. Will Darcy delivering again for UC Irvine.
So you see that D set, and you see how fast that was. You know how hard it is to connect when you have two players going with that kind of speed behind the 10-foot line. That's amazing to be able to connect like that.
Yeah, you know, you go that fast, you're a little bit set dependent too. You don't have a lot of range, so you have to trust the setter set you at the right time. Obviously, Long Beach was heavy in a tight bunch from the left right there and all over the quick and the bick. So good set by Aiden, get it all the way out, get some tempo, knowing the line was probably going to be, you know, have an opportunity to expose that.
I've noticed they haven't set Trevor Clark at all throughout this match. I believe he hasn't had one set to him.
Yeah.
And I'm curious why that is. It's a bit unusual midway through the second set, not having one set come his way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when some of that comes by scouting report, and some comes that, unfortunately, sometimes it comes just because of the way the passes are coming when he's in the front row. So that you just jinxed it, right? You talked him right in. I don't think anyone's going into the game with a big middle like him saying don't set him. Sometimes what happens is you just don't get a good pass with the rows that he's in, and you don't get him a ball, and then it looks like he's not part of it. And there's no doubt the coaching staff's looking at that saying, hey, Long Beach knows that we haven't set him a ball, so we got to get him one early in this set.
It's almost like Long Beach's block has maybe been cheating out to the pins, maybe knowing they're not going in, but that put them back in their honesty. And at 6'10", you got to go to them once in a while to keep them honest on the Long Beach side. Yeah,
it's called draw the line on the chart. You know, you got a block and defense coach on each bench. They got to draw some lines. You know, as the match goes on, at timeouts and important decision-making of how you're going to handle block and defense, if there's no lines driven from the D or none from the quick, obviously it's a huge advantage to the other team late in matches.
Right.
So, yeah, they're trying to draw a line right now. They're trying to get some D, and they're trying to get some quick going, so Long Beach has to respect that later on.
Absolutely.
Daniil Hurstinovic looking for an ace there, just misses long. And they bring in their second part of their double sub. Here on ESPN Plus, Matt Brown, Coach Alan Knight, and Andreas Kotchier. As thank you for your time, by the way. Kind of coming to an end here as we're getting to the 15-point mark. So just want to talk about maybe your time, not just as a coach, but also as a player, and how much this game has changed and how it was being a part of the evolution and the growth of men's volleyball.
Yeah, the game is obviously a completely different game than it was when we played. It's a lot faster. It's a lot more physical. And the kids are just playing significantly higher level volleyball at a younger age than we ever did. So it's great to see. You know, this is exactly why you were involved in it, try to change the game, grow the game.
Outside it is Varga. Into the block, and that to Connor Bloom at the service line for the Beach. Gets an overpass out of that serve. Oh, look at Jackson Chris terminating.
Oh my gosh. The iron wrist Christ cranking that ball hard angle. I think he popped that ball. Watch it. Watch the floor. I think it's, oh my God. I think it shook. I could feel it from here. That is the iron wrist Christ.
Connor Bloom, once again with a good serve. Will Darcy gets blocked, and Roof.
Sky Flyer Varga just reaching way over the net. And by the way, look who's hitting over on the UCI side. 6'10", William Darcy. And you've got, look at this. This is a massive matchup. He just smothers that ball. Sky Flyer just killing it tonight.
Good dig, kept alive by Connor Bloom. Anteaters with the opportunity, but it goes over the net. Now off the block, working out that kill inside out, Andreas Brink.
The UCI is still putting a lot of these sets a little bit tight. I'm thinking a lot of their outside hitters want it maybe another foot off the net, maybe a foot and a half. And as a result, they're having a free ball over Long Beach. And that one worked out, though.
Outside, it's Brink, and he's able to get another kill as UC Irvine is relying on their freshman from Denmark, Andreas Brink.
Well, and before those two kills, just prior to that, the stats I'm looking at, UCI is only hitting 122. Long Beach is at 455 hitting. So it's a big difference. And that's why the score is showing. Oh.
Brink into the triple block. He is able to get 3 straight kills. Volleyball championship next week. It starts on Thursday. This match is part of determining who plays on Thursday and who doesn't have to as a kill goes down for Skylar Varga.
And Sky Flyer just sees, again, all of the UCI guys on the perimeters and just does a little rolly shot over the block right in the middle of the court.
Also, you saw in those Big West standings, Hawaii has 1 loss now thanks to UC San Diego knocking them off in one of the matches last weekend. So that also opens up the door for a conference title in the regular season, also a #1 seed for either of these squads. UC Irvine would, of course, share the title. Long Beach State has a chance to win it outright should things work out certain ways, but the focus is on the opponent across the net because it's between 2 and 3.
That's right. Anyone can beat anyone in this Big West, really. It's that tight.
Joust at the net, really none of it because so quick up and down was Aiden Schulten.
He saw that he was trapped. He had very little options, and his only option was to shove it through Ben Braun, and he put it down with success.
There's Micah Goss. Fantastic freshman season, a great sophomore year as Ben Braun trying to finish off his career as a senior. Up high, and that is down for Andre Jokanovic.
And how many times tonight have we seen a broken play out of system? Okay, it's a good dig, but he's putting a fairly tight set. Granted, it's over his shoulder, and he just dribbles it over the block. It's not pretty, but it works.
How about Micah Goss getting the dig there for UC Irvine? The middle playing some back row here since he's the server right now. Going through that 3-clap ritual. That's through the block and down, Connor Bloom.
The sport of volleyball is all inches and split seconds. Watch the timing and that little hole right there that Connor Bloom was able to get through, and Ben Braun doing his job, keeping Clark up for a split second.
Varga to serve. Nice out of system bumps it just to give Jokanovic a chance. And he gets another shot at it. UC Irvine relying on their true freshman right now.
And the set by UCI again was a little tight, and but Jokanovic was able to hit over him. I'm glad. So the referee's talking to Jokanovic. I've been noticing this the last set as he's been talking through the net, and the rule is you need to celebrate when you turn your back. You celebrate to your own team. You don't do anything through the net. And I was surprised the referee didn't catch that earlier, and he finally did have a little talking with him.
That serve goes into the net. So a 3-point lead for Long Beach State in the second set. See Jake Pizzanti there and the rest of the Long Beach State crew on the sidelines right now. He has been able to come into the middle of this game as they work out their partial 6-2. Of course, having to work out subs. We talked about how tough the substitutions can be in men's volleyball for a system like that. Former head coach Alan Knipe as Jokanovic goes back to serve.
And spinning his back and celebrating this time. He learned.
Through the block and down. Connor Bloom, by the way, leading everybody in kills right now.
And from memory, that's the third kill from Connor Bloom in that exact height off the hand. And Aitken is cheating more in the middle, and he was earlier taking that spot on that side, but for some reason he's cheating over. He might make some adjustments.
Good serve by Hrstanovic. Bloom, a little roll shot there. Darcy dug up initially. Bloom gets a swing out of that.
That's a hittable dig.
And it goes UC Irvine's way. Andreas Brink finds an opening.
What a great rally. And Hrstanovic, did you see that? He's leaning way over the stand. Look at this. And not only was it a save, he puts it on the money for a hit.
New entry into the front row for UC Irvine, Beck Weber. The 6'8" redshirt junior and local kid from Long Beach, Los Alamitos High School. Oh, good dig in the back row by Trevor Clark, the middle. Varga, another good dig, and that is out of bounds, no touch, as Long Beach State will take that nice rally.
So earlier we were talking about Trevor Clark not getting set too much. He's 6'10", but you know what he's been noteworthy tonight is his digs. This has been 3 or 4 sprawling digs on that last set. He pops up 6'10". He's popping these balls up beautifully like a libero.
You're right, 4 digs now for Trevor Clark. In the middle It is Weber. He's blocked back. Darcy gets dug up. Oh, what great scramble plays on either side. Darcy, no touch there, and Long Beach State will get to set point.
Is that, if you don't have goosebumps on your arms right now, you do not have a pulse. This is great volleyball tonight. Wherever you're watching this, you're tuned into the right place.
This great effort, Island Doty somehow sprawling, diving, just getting a touch on it to keep it alive. Good serve by Connor Bloom on set point. Darcy says not so fast. UC Irvine closes to within 3.
That's a really big high hit by Darcy. Over a big block, I might add. Nice snap, and he says, I'm not finished. Just like you said, Matt, we've got some more volleyball to play.
He had 9 kills on 692 hitting in the win against.
Known for is getting teams in trouble
As we
through the
start
serve.
This third set. Well, into some trouble was Skylar Varga. He had nowhere to go, and the big block of Trevor Clark comes into play.
And I think Island Doty would want that set back. He just put it low and tight, and there was nothing he could do on that hit.
Hrstinovic somehow finds the floor, soft off the block.
I think because he saw Trevor Clark in the middle, the 6'10 UCI middle blocker, getting out there a little bit late. See, he was fooled in the middle by big Bren Bonney, and he got out there late, and as a result, was able to put it down.
Varga with the off-speed serve this time around. Hey, look at it. It is Trevor Clark with his 3rd kill on 3 attempts.
Hitting 1,000. And I think if they were smart, they would go to him more because he's got a perfect game. He's 6'10". He's hitting nice, high, hard hit. And you know what? 6'11" Ben Braun, big Ben Brawny, comes back and gives it right back to him. So it's a battle of the giants in the middle.
Right now, both have rotated out of the front row as Clark just served, and now Braun serves. So it's now battle of Christ and Goss in the middle for either side. How about the block? Goss in on it, as well as Aiden Schulten now being the 5-1 setter in this 3rd set.
It was easy for them to get that block because, hate to say, it was a little bit low and tight. And there wasn't much he could do with it in the outside there. He was hoping for maybe some kind of toolage. He swung away. That's what you do. You can't free ball that.
That was not an official toss, by the way, if you were seeing that on your screen. That was just a little practice or play toss, if you will, from Schulten. There was a wipe of the floor on the other side. Now, that's an official toss. Oh, off the block and off the antenna. Hrstinovic gets the side out. All tied at 3. Long Beach State hitting .403 as a team. Hrstinovic back to serve. 6'9" junior from Toronto. He's hitting .326 coming into tonight. Misses on that serve. Andre Jokanovic back there now for UC Irvine. Boy, he has been maybe the freshman to watch this season in the Big West Conference. 7 Freshman of the Week honors in the Big West. Probably going to be the Freshman of the Year.
No doubt. That was a good joust.
Free ball opportunity here for UC Irvine. Look out, it's Jokanovic.
Who else but Jokanovic out of the back row, out of the front row. He just has this, I mentioned before, just this court presence of seeing where the little holes are in the block. Watch how quick his decision is to come. He's already in the launch pad. You see just a little bit of a hole between Captain Connor and Jackson Christ.
Good pass by Varga, and Christ able to capitalize.
You know, I mentioned before, Sky Flyer does everything. That pass was a nail. Look what he's doing. He does everything on the court. And a great hit by wrist-turning Chris middle. So good combination between all three. And Island Doty putting it right on the money.
Of the 3 players for the Beach that have received 300 or more serves throughout the year, Varga has been aced the least. He has a .971 reception percentage, and that is very good. Varga unable to breach the net that time, and UC Irvine will take the side out.
He was going for a razor-sharp cut on that because the block was just standing there waiting for him with big, giant smiles on their faces, with a giant grin. There's nothing really you can do but go hard, hard angle. He's landed those before. He has, just not this time.
From Connor Bloom to Micah Goss. And a good serve as Varga finds high hands, and wonder if we're gonna get a challenge. There was a line. Bloom having to step in here. Varga through the triple block, maybe over and down.
I want to compliment the Beach's ability for any one of these 6 players to come in and set a perfect ball. And Captain Connor put a beautiful one right on the outside, just a nail.
Chris into the net.
I was watching that throw on his toss, and he connected with it a little bit late, and it was a bit inside. As a result, couldn't clear the 7'11" and 5/8" net. Not 8 foot, 7'11", 5/8".
That is out of bounds. Ball did go over the net. That is not 8 feet exactly, but out of bounds as Island Doty goes back there for Long Beach State. Doty now with his 13th match on the season. Wasn't the starter at the start, but has really earned some starts down the stretch here. Kellen Larson trying to save it, but give the point to UC Irvine.
Nice solid hit. The Kellenator scrambling, dodging in and out of the referees and like an obstacle course, just couldn't get to it.
That's another good kill by Trevor Clark, by the way. Now Jokanovic. Good dig by Bloom. Kirstinovic almost got a kill. Instead, will have to contribute on the blocking, but net violation called to Long Beach State.
Who was that? They called that, let's see. That's right after this. Should be right here. I don't know. Couldn't tell.
Either way, Long Beach State will take the side out through Ben Braun.
Big brawny Ben snapping his wrist, going across the court, and Clark just not able to get there in time. Equal in height, equal in size, but Brawny comes out ahead on that one.
That one long. Hard serve there from Skylar Varga. As Trevor Clark goes back there now for UC Irvine. They absolutely need this set to extend the match. And they are up by 2, up by 3 now with a service ace. Long Beach State disagrees with the call. We might get our first challenge. Boy, we've been kind of rolling right along through this match. I don't think we've had any real big stoppages other than timeouts, but this, a challenge.
What do you think? I had a bad angle from here, but there haven't been a lot of challenges tonight. There's been typically a lot more by this stage in the third set.
Especially between 2 teams that are pretty much evenly matched. Again, 2 and 3 in the conference, 3 and 5 in the country. And yeah, that part of the court is probably the worst part for our vantage point. We are on the opposite side of the court from where we sit here, court side. So we'll have to rely on our great ESPN Plus crew. Let's see from our look here if Long Beach State will be able to win this challenge. We'll get you a look here momentarily. This might be tough to tell, we'll see.
Oh man, I can't see it from there. If that could go either way. But look where the linesman is. It's about 1.5 feet from his feet. So if anyone has the best seat in the house to make that call, it's the official.
Certainly could be not enough to overturn here, or it could even be confirmed depending on the angles that Sid Church has. Unfortunately for Sid Church, the R2, the down ref here tonight, he has to walk all the way across the court to get to the challenge review system. Normally, he's already on the other side of the court.
Right.
Just how it has worked out today in the League One volleyball court that we have here in place for their championship tomorrow.
Gives us more time to debate if it's in or out.
And he does say inconclusive. So UC Irvine will retain the point.
And like you said before, Matt, for it to be overturned, you said it has to be convincing. And that was not convincing. Well, clearly was in.
As UC Irvine will maintain a 3-point lead in this third set, trying to force a fourth. Big Ben Braun, as you would say,
wow,
with a big swing.
What a big swing it was. Mika Goss, I don't think was even leaving the ground yet before that ball was already down. It's a quick set. Amazing.
Now Ben Braun with the serve, so he will rotate out of the front row, and Will Darcy finds another kill.
I think Hershtanovich thought he was closer to our ESPN table than he really was. Kind of took a little bit of a stutter step. And again, he wishes he could have that one back. He's shaking his head. I'll get that next time, boys. Have some trust in me. It won't happen again.
Good pass by Varga. Now it's Hershtanovich. Picked up. Andreas Brink playing a good back row. Oh, double contact violation as that goes over the net. Trying to two-hand it over was Will Darcy.
And look at these changes we have now coming in. We talked about the interchange of subs and working the 6-2 system and keeping UCI and even Coach David Niffen guessing and trying to, it's a game of chess right now. Okay, how is he going to adjust his offense now with this new slightly changed lineup here for the Beach?
Yep, Jake Pizzanti now into serve. They have let Daniil Hershtanovich serve and have Pizzanti come in right after. But it is Pizzanti in the back row, Gajek in the front. Good rally here. Bloom.
Boom! Unbelievable. What a great fast play. Bodies flying everywhere. Did you see how everyone was in system? Did you see how no one was wait or stuck in the quicksand waiting for the set? Everything was rhythm. And Long Beach's rhythm is on right now. Well, actually, both teams are. UCI's got a good rhythm going. The score is showing it.
1 point lead for the Anteaters still as Pizzanti makes it 2 once again. So Andre Jokanovic will go back to serve, leading all Anteaters right now with 8 kills on 21 swings. He's hitting .286. Also has a service ace on the night. Net violation on the swing by Gajek. Hope everyone's okay. I think they checked on each other and everyone's all right.
It's very dangerous. Everyone's jumping and you come down and land on a foot. You blow an ankle out that way. I know they're all taped. Everyone's ankles are taped, so we're fine. I'm not too worried. But that's just a really, really tight, high play.
A good off-speed serve by Jokanovic. Gajek still able to power it through the triple, blocking down.
So the difference that Gajek brings in is, well, first of all, he's the go-to guy, and he just has this snap. And that one landed off the dome of one of the blockers. I don't know who it was, but just a snap at such a high speed. It's such a quick speed with that wrist.
One of the final claps might see here in the pyramid from Connor Bloom. Oh, good pickup by Bloom to keep it alive, as well as Jake Pizzanti. Darcy, though, says try to pick up that one.
I love over the generations how volleyball has loosened up the game.
357 to 316 in this set alone, as Goss with a tough serve out of the timeout.
Oh.
We've seen some good rallies throughout the night, and it will continue here. Brink gets blocked back. Somehow an opportunity here for Long Beach State, and Jackson Christ puts it away.
The iron wrist Christ. I just love that. Quick middle. The set, the set's a little on the lower side, but he's able to snap that wrist and hit across the court with another kill.
Chris now back to serve. He has been one of the better servers in the Big West Conference, says Gajek. Able to take advantage of the good serve from an overpass.
Very smart. Not everything has to be a straight down hit. I know it gets the crowd excited. It's fun to watch, but that's a point. It's conservative, and it's trustworthy to put a ball, just throw it down with two hands like that if you see any real estate on the floor.
Nice redirection by Gajek as that serve goes into the net. That is service error number 15 in the match for Long Beach State. Just 9 for UC Irvine.
Wow.
Good off-balance swing by Andreas Brink.
Not to mention the set. It was a one-handed, perfect fan for Long Beach volleyball. She's always dressing up in great yellow costumes, and she always has something up her sleeve. She's a great girl.
That's down for Skylar Varga as we bring it back to this one. Speaking of the Big West Championship, this was the championship match in 2024 where Long Beach State was able to take that one as Wojciech Gajek misses long on that serve.
Couldn't get a snap on that, but look at the team stats compared to the other sets. Now, UC Irvine doubled their total percentage. They were at the 100 range. Now they're at 219. So they're slowly crawling in with some better stats.
Oh, nice little save there by Gajek just to keep it in play. Opportunity for UC Irvine, however, Schulten trying to swing on to, could not do so.
It was ambitious. It was a good idea because the play was broken up. Long Beach was, one or two of the players were just coming from outside the court to come on, and he saw that as an opportunity to have one or two less bodies on the court. Why not go on two? Just came a little bit short. Good idea, though, by Schulten.
Here is Varga to serve, and that goes into the net, helping UC Irvine creep closer to that red zone.
And you know what, Schulten is hitting 500 as a setter, so you know he's got a little confidence. He's going to go for more of those.
Oh, hard back set all the way across the court, and Gajek is able to find it.
That set was from coast to coast, and the ball just traveled so far. Remember how hard that is for a middle blocker for Goss on the other side of the net to sidestep, to come all the way over to the other side to try to stop Gajek's powerful hit.
Into the match, Ryan Peluso to serve. Jokanovic blocked back. Recycle into another attack, but it's out of bounds.
I said it before. I almost don't want to say it because I jinxed it before, but I'm going to go for it. Ryan Peluso is Mr. Trustworthy on serves. He will put the ball in. Watch what happens. I probably shouldn't have said that. Please put it in, Ryan.
21st match appearance on the year for Peluso, the redshirt junior from Orlando, Florida.
Save my credibility.
Kept it in that time. Micah Goss says, thank you very much. I get a big swing out of that.
Goss with a nice snap. He's up. He's holding up in the air. He has a nice, not only a nice broad jump, but he has this elevator where he just stays up there in the air, just a split second long enough to go and turn his wrist and put it by the blocker.
You could say undersized as a middle, 6'6", but still good size and great athleticism from Micah Goss. He has hit 400 or better in his last 4 matches as that serve is missed and gives Long Beach State an opportunity to tie it here with Jake Pizzanti going back there.
So UCI hits the red zone first at 20, and now you start wondering, should you be taking a little bit off to keep the ball in, or do you bomb away?
Pizzanti. That is down for Micah Goss.
And I mentioned before in the last play, Goss is so good at turning his wrist. This time, instead of going cross to the area 1, in between area 1 and 2, he goes to the area 4 and 5 position on turning his wrist the opposite direction. He has variety.
Here's a strategic substitution. Now you see that 13 that just got off your screen in the front row. Beck Weber is in for Goss for this block attempt. He is slightly taller. You're talking about how Goss is a little undersized. Looking for a little more physicality is UCI head coach David Niffin. Triple block here, and it'll work out well for the Anteaters. That it is close, that peak of the season. Big West Championship right around the corner. NCAA tournament right around the corner. And we will see how that fares the rest of the way. Good pancake save by Pizzanti. Off the block, and it goes out of bounds. Big side out there for UC Irvine.
That was a big point. That puts him at 23 right now. It's statistically, Long Beach has a 12% chance of winning this match if it's 20, not quite, almost 20, 12%. But it's still, anything can still happen. It's not point game.
Varga gets picked up by the middle in the back row right now. Larson calls it off to get this bump set to Varga. That is blocked back and down for the Anteaters.
That was just a really strong block. Now UCI is staring at game point, and they have rhythm. You can see it, the skip in their step after their plays. They just feel more confident, and things are working.
Looking to extend the match here. Goss. Good pass by Larson. Gajek into the block. Gajek full swing that time and gets the kill.
He hits up so hard. The block was straight and true right over the net for UCI, but Gajek has so much power beyond that ball, it almost bends their arms back. And it's just the lightning hitting by Gajek. He is the go-to guy. I've said it before.
Big serve from Jackson Christ. Oh, a little UB.
Yes.
How exciting tonight is right now. Both teams playing some high-level volleyball. Long Beach State trying to prevent a 4th set. UC Irvine looking to do so. Gajek keeps this 3rd set alive.
We have ourselves a whole different scenario now. And who are they going to? A red-hot Gajek, the go-to guy.
7th kill already for Wojciech Gajek on 13 swings, 385 hitting right now. And remember, they've been switching out their setters and opposites, so Gajek hasn't been playing the entire match. Another good serve by Christ. 3-ball opportunity. Varga picked up by Jokanovic. Out of bounds, no touch. And we are tied. Win by 2. As that will go into the net. Give the point to head coach David Niffin there using his timeout.
That was really smart, and that's why Nippon is who he is.
Yes.
And he's had so much success for so many years in this UCI program. And now UCI staring at point.
Good pickup by Jokanovic. Here's their opportunity to send it to 4, and they do. Some injury on the team, and he has delivered as well. 8 kills on 26 swings, and no surprise, Andre Jokanovic has been one of their offensive leaders with 8 kills himself. We're underway here in the 4th set. Island Doty with the serve. He's back out there as the setter. And that goes off the triple block and out of bounds from Andre Jokanovic.
So remember this, your starting setter that's playing mostly every game, Costi, hasn't come back into the match. And they've been staying with Scholten. And that's a big decision by Niffen to make that change.
Yeah, that has been a difference maker. Aiden Scholten, ever since coming into the match, has pretty much run a good offense for UC Irvine. Scholten has 18 assists and 3 digs, also 2 kills for himself. This swing going awry. Outside, it is Herstinovic on the left side, and there's rotation, and he bangs it down.
I'm going to venture to guess that the real Daniil saw that Clark was playing back row, the 6'10 middle. So if you're going to find a spot in the court to try to hit at it statistically to see who would be less likely to dig a ball, you went to the right person.
Good pickup, as Aiken has been all over the court throughout the night. Also Kellen Larson with the dig there for Long Beach State. And no touch called, out of bounds. We'll see if we have a challenge here from Long Beach State. They have already lost 1 challenge here tonight.
Looks
and
like
we do get a challenge.
He is, right. When Sky Flyer in the air, the ball was already down, but he's still in the air. He was already motioning with his hands the touch before his feet even land on the ground. A, that tells you how high of a hops he has. And B, it tells me a little bit about the certainty of this call being reversed.
Still early here in the 4th set as we take a look at this angle here.
Was the call, whether it's in or out or a touch, okay. Okay, because yeah, I thought for a moment he was also considering that it went in, but it looks like that went long. It was mainly the touch thing.
Yeah, the motion that Sid Church, who you're looking at right there, made was that they are challenging touch.
And that's what Sky Flyer was you know, he was signaling. But for a moment I thought also could have landed in, but no, it did go long. This will be a very close one here, but like you said, it's got to be convincing, right?
Yeah, touch is always the toughest part of the challenge review system to gauge. Just looking for any finger movement or change of rotation on the ball. Tough to tell.
Couldn't determine on that. So look to see if Scholten's hand in any way flexed, or his fingers. Did you see any flex there, right there? Did anything pop backwards? That's what we're looking for. The referees are looking for anything there.
Sid Church still looking. We can talk a little bit more about this matchup, the black and blue rivalry between UC Irvine and Long Beach State. Both teams have had great seasons so far. Only 1 loss separates the two in conference and overall. UC Irvine has had big wins, especially at the start of the year when they were able to beat Stanford twice, BYU twice, and Pepperdine. Long Beach State has had big wins over Pepperdine, Penn State, and now they will see another challenge not go their way. So UC Irvine retains that 3rd point of this set.
I think it was a good idea to challenge it. I think it was wise to go ahead and risk that challenge card, but didn't work out for Long Beach this time.
It can get a challenge back in the 5th set, but you could also say athletic justice if you're on the Long Beach State side there on the service error.
Yeah, it did ice the server, didn't it?
It did. Pseudo timeout.
That's right.
However you want to look at it. Outside it goes, it's Darcy. Picked up by Doty over the net, though another opportunity, and it is Micah Goss.
Did you see how Goss turned that ball? Once again, he's just so fast at, his chest is directly facing the blocker, and then, well, right after this play. So watch the middle. So his chest is straight, and then he just snaps it right across the court. Such a good hit.
Connor Bloom somehow gets a big swing out of that out-of-system set.
Now, Connor Bloom is clearly spending a lot of time in the weight room, but he's using all of his torso behind that hit. Do you see how that went from like 0 to whatever it was, 70-mile-an-hour hit? He's putting a lot of, notice he put it right into his torso to get that extra speed.
Herstinovic misses on that serve, and UC Irvine maintains their 2-point advantage. That is one category that UC Irvine is surprisingly leading tonight. Came into tonight 15th in the country in service aces per set. Of course, Long Beach State has led the country all year long in that category, but tonight it's been Anteaters 3 aces to Long Beach State's 1. As Herstinovic blasts away from the back row and gets a kill.
Blast is an understatement. That had some heat on it. I mean, that was a blister. And you know what? I think everyone was standing in the right position. The block looks solid. When you have a hard hit, doesn't matter. You could be doing anything right on the defensive side for UCI. Ball's down.
Connor Bloom. Brink misses. No touch called and no challenge. Long Beach State with a natural point.
All tied up. He's going high, and even the Kellinator pulls his arms back. That shows you what kind of court sense he has.
Right side, it is Darcy. No touch, and that's out of bounds as well.
I just love watching that matchup between Darcy and even when Jackson, the Iron Wrist Chris, comes over there to join that block. The level of hitting, it's just so high over the net. And that one just sailed a little long for Darcy.
Clark gets blocked back, stays alive. Over on 2, Connor Bloom. Nice little set from Shane Aiken, the libero, over to Darcy.
Such good play by everyone, both sides of the court. I mean, that's just really good, mistake-free volleyball. Look at everyone's in right position. It was just a nice high, hard hit going into area 6. So smart. And Darcy's got that kind of variety in his swing.
Will Darcy now with 8 kills on that is 30th swing of the night. As he will go back to serve. He will be honored tomorrow night in Irvine as one of the seniors on senior night. Bumps it to Varga, his second shot at it in this rally, and he takes advantage.
Over the block. So the first set that went out to Skyflyer, he mistimed it, or just the set was maybe not what he was looking for. And the second time around, look how high he's hitting. And a good spot, too. He sees where the players aren't. I mean, that's just, I can't put it more simple.
And
he hits it where they're not.
Against a triple block,
yes,
as that is out of bounds.
He hits it where they're not. It's as juvenile as that sounds. Sometimes you just got to say it simply. And that's what the Skyflyer is, able to see every part of that court.
Long Beach State fans have been treated to his talent throughout his career here at Long Beach State. Senior from Saskatchewan. Here he goes again. Varga into the block. They have to recycle this time. Hrstinovic from the back row gets dug up by Darcy. Jokanovic into the block. Here he goes again. Big dig by Larson. Tough play there. I think it's 4 contacts here called on Long Beach State.
When you have that kind of speed and that the ball is traveling on the Long Beach side from a great hit UCI, you have Island Doughty and the Kellinator just running into each other because they take turns. Because Kellinator doesn't know where Doughty might be. He might be away from the ball, so he steps in the set. And that time, it happens very rarely. They just both ran into because they both want to take that set. Because remember, the Kellinator is the second guy that takes priority on setting if the play is broken.
Big swing, and Skylar Varga gets the side out right away.
Aiken, the libero for UCI, really in a good position. Watch him in the back there. Just sails a little bit over, right into his hard hands that are up over his head. I don't know if he was regretting thinking he was going to go long or just the fact that he didn't pop that up. But Aiken's a world-class libero.
Over on 2. There's the 3rd kill for Aiden Schultz. And how big has he been tonight?
He's been very big, and that's probably the reason why Niffen is not going to make any changes to the setting. He likes what he sees.
By the way, there's been a new entry into the match for UC Irvine in the back row right now, Andon Kiriakou, as that'll work out like a service ace there for UC Irvine.
Kiriakou is normally a starter, and he's a little bit undersized, and I'm wondering if Niffen maybe wanted to start a bigger outside for a bigger Long Beach-sized team. I'm speculating there. I'm not sure, but normally he is a starter.
No matter what, though, Kiriakou has been solid in the back row throughout this season for the Anteaters. 5 or more digs in 15 matches this year for Kiriakou. So he is in a good spot as a role player right now for UC Irvine. Right side back row, it's Darcy dug up by Larson. That is off the block and out.
It was a really smart swipe by Captain Connor, and he really had nowhere to go. He was in between the antenna and 4 arms, and he goes for the swipe. Look at Skyflyer just backing away, doing a little dance, make sure it doesn't hit his foot.
And Varga is back to serve. What a serve. UC Irvine just has not been aced throughout this match, no matter what. Jokanovic powers it down. Net violation. Who's it on? It is on Long Beach State. Either way, point Irvine.
I think it's frustrating Skyflyer Varga that he's normally good for a couple aces each set, and he's been a little bit dry in the ace category lately.
Little break here to talk things over for the officiating crew. R2 Sid Church is going to walk over to the score table.
This is interesting. Even the head ref is stepping down too, which you don't see too often.
Right. I'm wondering if there is a lineup issue.
Oh, they are looking at the lineup sheet.
So we will have just this break in action for UC Irvine to talk things over with our officiating crew. Matthew Laveau on the right side of your screen, and more in the middle, Sid Church. And, of course, David Niffen, who we've been talking about all night long as UC Irvine's head coach, the Big West co-coach of the year a few years ago in 2022.
You know, I wonder if this has anything to do with Kiriakou coming on the court, because that seems to be about the time that they're looking at the rotation. I don't know yet, but
it also seems like they were looking at just the full roster I'm wondering if they were just checking to see if that is the right number and player that was subbed in that they wanted from the roster that was on the sheet that they were looking at. But either way, play on, nothing doing.
Nothing new, yeah.
We were just speculating there. Pancake save, Schulten.
It's got to go over and just a little short. That was a great looking pancake by UCI. Who's that, Schulten, you said?
Yeah.
I was blocked by Darcy in the foreground. Good looking sprawl. And he's doing a great job coming in off the bench. Look at that.
Jokanovic into the block. Kept alive. Braun with the set. Jokanovic again. Darcy picked up by Braun. Middle blocker playing some back row defense. We've seen that all night long from both sides. Through the triple, blocking down Will Darcy.
What a long rally. That rally lasted longer than a Bavarian folk song. That just kept going and going. And a lot of dinks, a lot of tools, a lot of back row. Well, everyone's just doing everything. Even Big Brawny getting a lip in the back row there in that session. I think that was like, what, 6 minutes ago when he got that dig?
It was.
It's the longest rally.
By the way, last week he had a couple of assists and he was asked after the game about them and he said, yeah, I've got my card in to apply as a setter and a libero for this team, whatever they need.
Just put me on the court, coach. I'll take any spot.
Jake Pizzanti back in. The double sub is in for Long Beach State, so Pizzanti takes over as the setter and Gajek back in as the opposite. Basically all they can do here if they want to have this double sub, they can't do it all set due to the substitution restrictions because they also like to have serving subs, as that is out of bounds from Will Darcy. Do want to mention, since we're on UC Irvine now anyway, they ran a version of a 6-2 or 2-setter system last year at times throughout the year, so both sides have utilized that type of offensive system or just lineup system in recent years.
You're right, yeah.
Remember, it was Joe Carlos, one of their main setters last year. And try to force a 5th and final. Long Beach State has forced a timeout from UC Irvine and give the point to the Anteater head coach, David Niffin.
You know, volleyball is so much momentum, and you can break some kind of streak. The timeouts are very strategic. Good job by Coach Niffin.
Yeah, you only have 2 per set. Also interesting, taking that timeout right before the 15-point mark, but it worked out there. Really working out now as the Anteaters tie back up with a big block.
A big block indeed. Look who's in the front row. 2 6'10" blockers with Clark and Darcy out there. Very difficult to get through that block. It's the Great Wall of China. That is just big.
Micah Goss, a good server for them. This is a good point rotation for them. Little miscommunication there on UC Irvine's side, and Long Beach State will take the point.
Clark, the middle blocker for UCI, is sort of with his hands up in the air like, was that for me or was it a really, really fast Bic set? And it was just somewhere in between. I think Schulten wants that one back too.
Bloom to serve. Oh, good swing. Our first look on offense in this match in the front row end on Kiriakou.
That's his first kill? Wasn't it his first set?
Yeah.
First hit outside. He turned around and he did the Hulk Hogan, you know, with the biceps and looked straight at Coach Niffin like it was a wise move to put me in.
Into the net there. Darcy was looking for a hard serve. Misses, and now it's Jackson Christ back there for Long Beach State. There's Jake Pizzanti, along with Wojciech Gajek, being the ones to come in and try to close out sets. And this lineup adjustment that we've seen from Long Beach State in recent matches, that goes long on the serve. But it goes back to saying how deep Nick McRae has said this team is, and that is something that we had Alan Knipe on earlier. He has always talked about flexing their depth throughout his years as head coach.
You're right, and it keeps the opponents guessing because every time they bring support, they have to re-strategize. Look at that.
Connor Bloom, by the way, wasn't the starting outside hitter throughout the season. Even when he would get starts, it would be an opposite. He has filled in whatever role he has, and he is starring right now as an outside.
He is starring. He's Captain Connor, and Superman has pajamas with Captain Connor's logo on it.
Looking like a career night for Connor Bloom. 13 kills on 29 swings, hitting .345. There is Trevor Clark. Not perfect anymore. Does have an hitting error on the night, but still very strong with 5 kills on 7 swings.
Not a lot of sets for him, and he's starting to build his stats, his hitting stats a little bit. They're having a little more confidence in him. Oh, boy. Look at that. Love it or hate it. You love that as a server and for UCI, but absolutely hate that for the other side of the net, having a ball just dribble off the net and land right on the tape.
As Rob Esparro, the play-by-play man for UC Irvine home matches on ESPN Plus, would say, this is a dirty ace. And a nice one there from Trevor Clark. That is his 3rd ace of the night, by the way. So Clark has had a very good serving night. Came in with just 8 aces on the year, so now in double digits here in 2026. That probably the biggest surprise, at least statistically speaking, between these two teams, where Long Beach State just has 1 ace tonight for the match, the top serving team in the country, and UC Irvine with 5 aces, right around there, closer to their average, so they are there, but they are just preventing aces from Long Beach State.
And a lot of that credit goes to Aiken.
Yes.
The libero has been passing beautifully. And also, Jokanovic has been passing very nicely back there. And to have a player that's that diverse, to be an offensive threat at the net and passing perfect balls in the back row. And he's hitting a few in the back row, too, so he's doing a little of everything.
1 point lead for UC Irvine coming out of the timeout. It's Clark again. It's a tough jump float serve to handle. And Skylar Varga just has to find the floor with the tip.
He saw a huge barbecue pit in the open with everyone on the parameters of the court really far on the edges there, almost as though they're waiting for some kind of tip off the block. And Skyflyer sees all that and just says, there's no point in hitting hard. I'm just going to do a little dig. And the 6'10 Clark, not maybe as quick as the liberos back there to get to that. A little bit late getting over there. Point for Varga.
Long Beach State brought back in the double sub as Island Doty is in the back row setting. Daniil Herstinovic back in the front row. They did it without one of those players serving. It was actually Skylar Vargas served, so they waited a rotation to do that this time around. Either way, UC Irvine retains their 1 point advantage, and back to serve has been their 5-1 setter for the second half of tonight, or really most of the night, Aiden Schulten, ever since he came in to the second set. That was initially picked up by Shane Aiken. That would have been an incredible dig, but it is called a lift.
So earlier tonight, I was talking about the beauty of international world volleyball, how they've loosened things up. Why? To make it more exciting for the spectators. Now, that ball right there, he held it quite long, but I mean, I will respect the call, but both UCI coaches, Niffen jumped out of his chair, and he's normally a very zen, quiet individual, And he thought that was a clean dig by Aiken.
Well, Aiken doesn't have to worry about a lift on that pass. It was perfect, and it set up the UC Irvine offense for the side out.
Iron Wrist Jackson is shaking his head because that ball hit right on the top of his lid and went clear up to the 15th level up at the pyramid.
My goodness, what a swing from Micah Goss. Jokanovic blasts away from the service line. Right side, it's Darcy. Picked up. Out of system was Long Beach State. Off kilter were they. We've just seen a lot of scramble plays throughout. That one just not going the Beach's way.
And it was smart. UCLA came back and won the next 3. Now, you know, this is 1921, so it's early, but I'm sure Long Beach is maybe thinking about that in the back of their minds. I know Coach McCray is always instilling these players to not think about the past, think about the next play going forward. But I just can't help myself think about that UCLA match here at the Pyramid when they reverse swept.
Jokanovic, great serve out of the timeout. Hard off the triple block, Connor Bloom delivers again.
And that serve was 70 miles an hour by Jokanovic. And I just can't believe that that was passed with such precision there, given that speed and how deep that serve was too.
Daniil Herstinovic just been a little off with that serve tonight. Does have a service ace, but in this set and maybe the last one has had some errors.
Yeah, when you get a game this close, 22-20, 20 in that range, do you take a little off the serve and keep it in? Try let your blockers and defense do some work, or do you bomb away?
A good scramble play. Almost an unbelievable point there from UC Irvine. Kiriakou again, and he gets it.
Wow, that set, I first thought it was a miss set by Scholten, but it was intentional because Kiriakou wants it low and fast because he can't beat him on the height, so he's gonna beat him underneath the arms in a sharp angle, and that's what he's known for.
We've just seen some fantastic scramble plays tonight. And there's a fantastic serve, Micah Goss.
One of the few aces tonight by either team, and that was a really, really big time to put up an ace, taking them right to point. Game.
Goss with set point for UC Irvine. The triple clap. Christ will get another shot at it and puts it away.
The iron wrist Christ turned with that wrist, that sharp, sharp wrist cut. Any blocker would have a difficult time at any level, anywhere in the world. The block looks solid straight over, and that's Clark, but he just has that iron wrist turn.
Connor Bloom to serve for Long Beach State. Still set point for UC Irvine. A lift is going to be called there. And the Anteaters take set 4. Let's go Cinco.
So they may have woken up a sleeping giant there in the middle. And remember that little dribbler, sir. He's effective all around the court.
Yeah, 3 aces along with those kills and the hitting percentage for Trevor Clark, the 6'10 junior. Clark is a transfer from San Diego Mesa College. I think this gives us a chance to talk about how strong the 3C2A is in men's volleyball as well. You know, Santa Barbara City College, another one of those that is in the mix there, as San Diego Mesa was a 3C2A runner-up finisher last year, much in part thanks to Trevor Clark, who was more of a pin hitter for them, an outside or an oppo, but has had to take this role on for UC Irvine as a middle blocker.
So Coach Niffen, we were talking before the match, and he made that very same comment about how he's changed positions of what traditionally these players have played before coming to UCI. And he looks for athleticism, raw talent, and then he molds them to exactly how he wants to fit in the entire team.
It's a race to 15 here in the 5th set. Gajek, it's Gajek and Pesanti in right now. Skylar Varga pushes it off the block and out.
Lot of transitions, a lot of back and forth over the net, and Skylar Varga, Skyflyer just, well, there's the first one. They recycle it back off. Scott just takes a little swipe. He sees it, and he's going to go for the odds.
Good pickup in the back row by Bloom. Varga misses long, and UC Irvine gets their first point in this 5th.
So Pesanti pushed that set a little bit off over towards the 10-foot line. Varga was trying to go high over the block. I think Pesanti was kind of wishing he could reset that one again and put that a little closer to net for a kill.
Goss to serve. That was a perfect pass and a give and go for Skylar Varga.
Now, if I remember right in that was Skyfly who passed that ball too. So not only was it a nail of a pass, he goes and delivers and does everything for Beach. In fact, if he was able to set himself, he would do that too. Take all 3 positions.
Well, there is the setter right now, and Jake Pesanti to serve. Well, that one right above the net, so Long Beach State took a shot at it. Either way, Jokanovic delivers for UC Irvine.
You know, there's a fine line between having watch Long Beach, they almost would prefer that they maybe stay down when you see him take his hand back, and you know the dink's coming at us. I know it's all split seconds, but sometimes you may want to drop your arms and see if the defense can just pick that up.
Varga pushing it into the block. Two-handed over and an opportunity for the Beach. Jackson Christ on the quick.
I personally putting my
back there out of the timeout. Trevor Clark finishes it off there for UC Irvine.
Gives it right back. Jackson Christ with a nice solid block, and Clark with a really good turn across his body. And remember how high he's hitting that ball. Nice hit by Clark.
What a serve by Andre Jokanovic.
That was a curve blister all combined into one. And one of the best passers for Long Beach, Varga there, even difficult for him to get to. I don't even know how you pass a ball like that. Even if you're standing there, how do you pass it? Like, it's just coming in so hard.
Second service ace of the night for Jokanovic. 40th ace of the year as he catches up to the totals of the likes of Skylar Varga. Little break here to wipe the floor. And Jokanovic will go back to serve again.
And that's another way to sort of try to ice the server, is get the floor wiped up maybe.
Foot fault.
Yeah, that
serve into the net anyway.
Yeah. So here comes now with Jackson Christ, who is statistically a high ace man himself. Let's see if this is going to change things around on this side of the court. A little bit long. One too short, one too long.
All tied at 5. Back and forth we go. Sort of as expected between these two great programs in men's volleyball. we might be seeing a preview of what's going to happen next week in the Big West Championships. That is down and in for Wojciech Gajek.
And what we might see tomorrow night as they go back over to UCI for round 2 in 24 hours.
And remember, the tournament next week will be hosted where the match will be tomorrow between these two. The Brent Event Center. What a serve by Gajek. Gajek from the back row will take the kill.
The go-to guy. Where is this
National scene? He's out today with injury, so see how he can fare down the stretch here of this season. Hopefully he is okay. You know what is okay? That serve from Wojciech Gajek.
Wow. So we're gonna switch, but Gajek, I love how he adjusts. He had a not so good of a toss, and he didn't get a chance to do a running jump launch pad, but he adjusts in the middle of the air and throws it down the line, that ace, which is likely what you do when you have a toss that's behind your shoulder a little bit. He goes down the line into area 5.
Just a look at how we got here and how Wojciech Gajek has changed the game.
This guy is on fire. The go-to Gajek, and he's back. Look at him. He's got a big smile on his face. He's on top of the world. He has all the confidence, and he's going to probably unleash once again. Let's see.
Yeah, that was a good look at a couple of the true freshmen affecting tonight's match. Jokanovic and Gajek, and he misses on that serve. This is more of a technical ice of the server because we have to switch at 8 points, whoever reaches 8 first.
Gajek he was just going for it. I mean, he put everything in that.
Brink with the serve, and now it's Bloom. Net violation called on UC Irvine. It'll be Long Beach State point either way.
Captain Connor gave Pizzanti a pass that is, I want the ball pass. He passed it towards his side of the court saying, I want this set, and I'm going to pass it so you have nowhere else to go but over to me. And he puts it away.
And now he gets to serve. Varga left-handed into that block. Good dig by Larson. Varga finds the floor.
And there was a slight height difference between Varga and Schulten, the setter. He noticed it, and he went over Schulten's head into that deep area 1. So strategic by Varga. I can't emphasize how he sees his court.
Over on 2, Larson saw it, picked it up. Still an opportunity for the Anteaters. Off the block and out of bounds. Just good play on both sides.
It's impossible to dink a ball with the Kellinator on the court. He slid all the way from the middle of the court all the way over and banged his head on the side of the referee podium and flippered it back for a play.
And on Kiriakou. Misses on that serve.
Now, that is a big miss. There comes a point when you're this far down, okay, maybe you go for it. I see the logic behind that. But now that, just like that, that puts it 11-7 to a game to 15.
Ben Braun. It's effective jump float serve. 4 touches on UC Irvine's side. All affected by the block of Long Beach State.
So Schulten made the decision on that to try to put it over on 2 on that play, and it's aggressive. I like his thinking there, but right there, I think he was trying to, just couldn't reach it.
Like a Goss off the block, picked up by Bloom. Gajek
down
the line. Aiken almost got that up, by the way.
That man is on fire. The go-to Gayak put a hole right in Aiken's chest, right where the number 1 is. That ball was hit so hard, you can hear the thump from where we're standing. Aiken in the right spot. Kudos goes to him for putting his face into that 80-mile-an-hour hit. Good volleyball by both sides.
It's been like that all match. I'm glad we got 5 sets out of this. Into the triple block, somehow finding a way to get the kill, Jokanovic.
That was a little bit of a lifesaver for UCI to stay into it. They look a little flat. I don't see a lot of cheering and motivation over there. They look a little dazed, if you will.
Varga, left-handed. Jokanovic into the block. Is that in? It is out of bounds. Give the kill to Andrei Jokanovic. That's his 14th. Might have a challenge here.
And Coach Nick is asking about his challenges and what he has left, and he's going to use it. Now, I believe it happened so fast. I was in the wrong position, but I did see an immediate, well, let's see, here we go. So Pizzanti was very quickly saying that it went in. That looked out to me. The angle's difficult here. Maybe a hairline on the edge of the tape, but likely hitting a lot of blue.
Just needs a little bit of the ball touching the white. But yeah, definitely seems like that one is more of an out call. It has to be enough to overturn here. And we've seen a number of times where it wasn't enough to overturn tonight.
Oh boy. I think that might be a little long. I think that's all in the blue paint. But remember the advantages and the upside of doing a challenge. Well, there's a call for UCI and for UCI.
Yes, a good point rotation for the Anteaters right now. Opportunity for them with Goss back to serve. His triple clap. Almost got an ace out of it. Gets a free ball and an opportunity for the Anteaters. Clark picked up by Bloom. Varga, that is in.
That ball landed in, and it was a broken. Oh, wait. We have Coach Nippen is going to challenge that. And I don't know if is he challenging the in-out call? I can't. I'm trying to read his body language and what he's challenging, but it's probably the right thing to do when you're at point game strategically.
Yeah.
I think he's challenging the in-out. I don't know what you make
well,
of that.
out of timeouts. Either way, this is going to be a break for UC Irvine.
Good point.
So
good point.
I think he was also trying to gesture in a way that can extend this review here, where they have to look at something that may be tough to tell.
Okay, so it's clean from Sky Flyers' point. Nothing, no net or anything there. Oh, that's clearly in. This is going to be a very quick decision by the second referee.
Unless he's looking at something else in that rally that isn't the finish, but I wouldn't assume so. I'm not sure. But either way, how about Connor Bloom getting a dig in that rally? He's got a double-double tonight, 15 kills on 10 digs. A guy that has been more of a role player throughout his career. As you take another look at that, more at the net there. But Bloom said he takes pride in being a role player and even says that he wants to be remembered as someone who can come off the bench cold and do his best. But he hasn't had to do that tonight because he was the star starting outside hitter tonight.
He absolutely was. Couldn't say it any better myself. he has done everything right. He's a decathlete on this court. He's passing nails. He's stepping in and set a few nice balls. He's dug a few, and, well, his attack at the net goes without sense. So they may have woken up a sleeping giant there in the middle. And remember that little dribbler, sir, he's effective all around the court.
Yeah, 3 aces along with those kills and the hitting percentage for Trevor Clark, the 6'10 junior. Clark is a transfer from San Diego Mesa College. I think this gives us a chance to talk about how strong the 3C2A is in men's volleyball as well. You know, Santa Barbara City College, another one of those that is in the mix there, as San Diego Mesa was a 3C2A runner-up finisher last year, much in part thanks to Trevor Clark, who is more of a pin hitter for them, an outside or an oppo, but has had to take this role on for UC Irvine as a middle blocker.
So Coach Niffen, we were talking before the match, and he made that very same comment about how he's changed positions of what traditionally these players have played before coming to UCI. And he looks for athleticism, raw talent, and then he molds them to exactly how he wants to fit in the entire team.
It's a race to 15 here in the 5th set. Gajek. It's Gajek and Pesanti in right now. Skylar Varga pushes it off the block and out.
Lot of transitions, a lot of back and forth over the net, and Skylar Varga, Skyflyer just, well, there's the first one. They recycle it back off. Scott just takes a little swipe. He sees it, and he's going to go for the odds.
Good pickup in the back row by Bloom. Varga misses long, and UC Irvine gets their first point in this 5th.
So Pesanti pushed that set a little bit off over towards the 10-foot line. Varga was trying to go high over the block. I think Pesanti was kind of wishing he could reset that one again and put that a little closer to net for a kill.
Goss to serve. That was a perfect pass and a give and go for Skylar Varga.
Now, if I remember right in that pass, that was Skyfly who passed that ball too. So not only was it a nail of a pass, he goes and delivers and does everything for Beach. In fact, if he was able to set himself, he would do that too. Take all 3 positions.
Well, there is the setter right now, and Jake Pesanti to serve. Well, that one right above the net, so Long Beach State took a shot at it. Either way, Jokanovic delivers for UC Irvine.
You know, there's a fine line between having watch Long Beach, they almost would prefer that they maybe stay down when you see him take his hand back. And you know the dink's coming at us. I know it's all split seconds, but sometimes you may want to drop your arms and see if the defense can just pick that up.
Varga pushing it into the block. Two-handed over and an opportunity for the Beach. Jackson Christ on the quick.
I personally, putting my opinion here tonight, I would like to see more of the middle. And the Iron Wrist Christ, watch this. Just use him. And when he is set, he delivers. Such a great player.
10 kills on 11 swings, errorless, 909 his hitting percentage tonight. There is the ace for Skylar Varga. He just said in the huddle, finally.
Oh, you saw that lips,
yes.
Because he's been dry. We talked about that earlier tonight, how he's been not getting any aces in the last, I don't know how many matches it's been. And he finally got it. This is where he belongs, in the ace zone again.
Timeout called by UC Irvine. Early timeout here. Of course, we're just going to 15 points here in the 5th set, but feeling that momentum kind of shift away. Remember, that's just the 2nd service ace of the evening from Long Beach State.
What does that tell you about UC's eyes passing?
Yeah.
And they, Long Beach, I wonder if it's getting maybe a little bit in their heads. I know for Skyflyer it is, because you said it. He's like, finally. So you know every time he goes back on the line, he's thinking, I'm the nation's leading acer. And I got to get an ace here sooner or later. And it worked out for him this time around.
41st service ace of the season.
And it's the right time to do it here in the 5th set. That's when you want the aces coming in.
He is also one of the leaders offensively tonight, along with Connor Bloom. They both have 14 kills tonight. Varga hitting 214 with that ace and 3 blocks. And now he goes back there out of the timeout. Trevor Clark finishes it off there for UC Irvine.
Gives it right back. Jackson Christ with a nice solid block. And Clark with a really good turn across his body. And remember how high he's hitting that ball. Nice hit by Clark.
What a serve by Andre Jokanovic.
That was a curve blister all combined into one, and one of the best passers for Long Beach, Varga there, even difficult for him to get to. I don't even know how you pass a ball like that. Even if you're standing there, how do you pass it? Like, it's just coming in so hard.
Second service ace of the night for Jokanovic, 40th ace of the year, as he catches up to the totals of the likes of Skylar Varga. Little break here to wipe the floor. And Jokanovic will go back to serve again.
And that's another way to sort of try to ice the server, is get the floor wiped up maybe.
Foot fault.
Yeah, that
serve into the net anyway.
Yeah. So here comes now with Jackson Christ, who is statistically a high ace man himself. Let's see if this is going to change things around on this side of the court. A little bit long. 1 too short, 1 too long.
All tied at 5. Back and forth we go. Sort of as expected between these two great programs in men's volleyball. We might be seeing a preview of what's going to happen next week in the Big West Championships. That is down and in for Wojciech Gajek.
And what we might see tomorrow night as they go back over to UCI for round 2 in 24 hours.
And remember, the tournament next week will be hosted where the match will be tomorrow between these two. The Brent Event Center. What a serve by Gajek. Gajek from the back row will take the kill.
The go-to guy. Where is this guy coming from? He comes in cold. He's serving bombs. He's hitting balls all over the court. It's like he never stepped off the court. He's red hot, and UCI knows it, so they're going to try to ice him.
The 6'6" true freshman from Katowice, Poland, as he is a 2-time Big West Freshman of the Week. We are seeing a number of candidates for individual awards in the Big West Conference. Of course, I know we're seeing some All-Americans on the court here tonight as well. Just the level of play very high between the Anteaters and the Beach tonight.
You're right, and we talked about William Darcy, one of the players to watch, and his resume is outstanding. You're going to be seeing him after the senior year, likely playing for his national team for Australia. I think that's a no-brainer. And so his career, though it may be coming soon to an end here in California, he has many more years of success.
Same can be said for a number of players on this court on either side. Know that Skylar Varga and Daniil Hershton-Novich have had Canadian representation internationally. Of course, Alex Kondev has been a part of the Bulgarian national scene. He's out today with injury, so see how he can fare down the stretch here of this season. Hopefully he is okay. You know what is okay? That serve from Wojciech Gajek.
Wow. So we're gonna switch, but Gajek, I love how he adjusts. He had a not so good of a toss, and he didn't get a chance to do a running jump launch pad, but he adjusts in the middle of the air and throws it down the line, that ace, which is likely what you do when you have a toss that's behind your shoulder a little bit. He goes down the line into area 5.
Just a look at how we got here and how Wojciech Gajek has changed the game.
This guy is on fire. The go-to Gajek, and he's back. Look at him. He's got a big smile on his face. He's on top of the world. He has all the confidence, and he's going to probably unleash once again. Let's see.
Yeah, that was a good look at a couple of the true freshmen affecting tonight's match. Jokanovic and Gajek, and he misses on that serve. This is more of a technical ice of the server because we have to switch at 8 points, whoever reaches 8 first.
Gajek he was just going for it. I mean, he put everything in that.
Brink with the serve, and now it's Bloom. Net violation called on UC Irvine. It'll be Long Beach State point either way.
Captain Connor gave Pizzanti a pass that is, I want the ball pass. He passed it towards his side of the court saying, I want this set, and I'm going to pass it so you have nowhere else to go but over to me. And he puts it away.
And now he gets to serve. Varga left-handed into that block. Good dig by Larson. Varga finds the floor.
And there was a slight height difference between Varga and Schulten, the setter. He noticed it, and he went over Schulten's head into that deep area 1. So strategic by Varga. I can't emphasize how he sees his court.
Over on 2, Larson saw it, picked it up. Still an opportunity for the Anteaters. Off the block and out of bounds. Just good play on both sides.
It's impossible to dink a ball with the Kellinator on the court. He slid all the way from the middle of the court all the way over and banged his head on the side of the referee podium and flippered it back for a play.
And on Kiriakou. Misses on that serve.
Now, that is a big miss. There comes a point when you're this far down, okay, maybe you go for it. I see the logic behind that. But now that, just like that, that puts it 11-7 to a game to 15.
Ben Braun. It's effective jump float serve. 4 touches on UC Irvine's side. All affected by the block of Long Beach State.
So Schulten made the decision on that to try to put it over on 2 on that play, and it's aggressive. I like his thinking there, but right there, I think he was trying to, just couldn't reach it.
Like a Goss off the block, picked up by Bloom. Gajek down the line. Aiken almost got that up, by the way.
That man is on fire. The go-to Gajek put a hole right in Aiken's chest, right where the #1 is. That ball was hit so hard, you can hear the thump from where we're standing. Aiken in the right spot. Kudos goes to him for putting his face into that 80-mile-an-hour hit. Good volleyball by both sides.
It's been like that all match. I'm glad we got 5 sets out of this. Into the triple block, somehow finding a way to get the kill, Jokanovic.
That was a little bit of a lifesaver for UCI to stay into it. They look a little flat. I don't see a lot of cheering and motivation over there. They look a little dazed, if you will.
Varga, left-handed. Jokanovic into the block. Is that in? It is out of bounds. Give the kill to Andrei Jokanovic. That's his 14th. Might have a challenge here.
And Coach Nick is asking about his challenges and what he has left, and he's going to use it. Now, I believe it happened so fast. I was in the wrong position, but I did see an immediate, well, let's see, here we go. So Pizzanti was very quickly saying that it went in. That looked out to me. It's not a, the angle's difficult here. Maybe a hairline on the edge of the tape, but likely hitting a lot of blue.
Just needs a little bit of the ball touching the white, but yeah, definitely seems like that one is more of an out call. It has to be enough to overturn here, and we've seen a number of times where it wasn't enough to overturn tonight.
Oh boy. I think that might be a little long. I think that's all in the blue paint. But remember the advantages and the upside of doing a challenge. Well, there's a call for UCI, and but we got a little break here, and that's going to make Goss think about his serve a little bit.
Also, kudos to the R2 Sid Church. He hustled over to give the call. He knows he has to run the length of the horizontal side of the court to make the call, as a timeout is called by Long Beach State. So we get to talk a little bit more about this great jump between the Beach and the Anteaters and preview what could happen tomorrow night. Now, the fact that this has gone 5 sets, I'm sure there are plenty of adjustments to be made for tomorrow night's match.
You're right. So now it's a different venue. Now UCI is playing at home, and it's only freeway distance, so you're going to have a lot of Long Beach fans there. There's yellow and black in the crowd, and I'll be there. And but there's nothing like playing in your home venue, and UCI is going to have a little, they want a little payback if indeed Long Beach does win tonight. The game is not over with yet. So anything could happen, and these two teams are so evenly matched. As you pointed out earlier, Matt, about 2 and 3. You know, they're right there. And Goss is a pretty strong server, so it's not the guy Long Beach wants to see back there, but it's exactly the guy you want serving for UCI.
Yes, a good point rotation for the Anteaters right now. Opportunity for them with Goss back to serve. His triple clap. Almost got an ace out of it. Gets a free ball and an opportunity for the Anteaters. Clark picked up by Bloom. Varga, that is in.
That ball landed in, and it was a broken. Oh, wait. We have Coach Nippen is going to challenge that. And I don't know if is he challenging the in-out call? I can't. I'm trying to read his body language and what he's challenging, but it's probably the right thing to do when you're at point game strategically.
Yeah.
I think he's challenging the in-out. I don't know what you make
well,
of that.
out of timeouts. Either way, this is going to be a break for UC Irvine.
Good point.
So
good point.
I think he was also trying to gesture in a way that can extend this review here, where they have to look at something that may be tough to tell.
Okay, so it's clean from Sky Flyers' point. Nothing, no net or anything there. Oh, that's clearly in. This is going to be a very quick decision by the second referee.
Unless he's looking at something else in that rally that isn't the finish, but I wouldn't assume so. I'm not sure. But either way, how about Connor Bloom getting a dig in that rally? He's got a double-double tonight, 15 kills on 10 digs, a guy that has been more of a role player throughout his career. As you take another look at that, more at the net there. But Bloom said he takes pride in being a role player and even says that he wants to be remembered as someone who can come off the bench cold and do his best. But he hasn't had to do that tonight because he was the star starting outside hitter tonight.
He absolutely was. Couldn't say it any better myself. He has done everything right. He's a decathlete on this court. He's passing nails. He's stepping in and set a few nice balls. He's dug a few, and, well, his attack at the net goes without saying.